Hey everybody, welcome back. Jim here with another question. This time comes from Andrade Jake on Facebook. He wants to know what the most money I've ever spent on a video game is. And I typically don't address this very much because I am a collector, and sometimes collectors tend to spend more than is reasonable on games. When I do game reviews, at the end of the review, I'll typically say how much the game usually goes for online on, say, like eBay, for example, and whether or not I recommend paying that much money for that game. And when I do that, I'm basically, the suggestion is for people who just want good games to play. They're not necessarily collectors. So if I review a shoot 'em up that is really great, but it's really, really expensive, and it's for the Sega Saturn, for example, if I don't recommend buying it at that price, that's because I'm thinking about someone who just wants a good shoot 'em up to play, not necessarily, collect and appreciate in value. Which in that case, there are a lot of really great shooters on the Saturn that don't really cost that much. I think games like Darius Gaiden and Galactic Attack or Raystorm, they're not that expensive. Definitely not gonna run you what you're gonna pay for stuff like Radiant Silvergun or Battle Garega and stuff like that. But me personally, yeah, I'm a collector, and so when he asked me that, what's the most I've ever paid for a video game? Again, I collect, but I'm not out of control. There are certain, games I'm not going to pay an exorbitant amount of money for if I don't want to actually play it. Like Action 52, for example. I would never buy a copy of Action 52 because it's a piece of dog shit. I don't care how rare or valuable it is. It's a video game, and if I'm not going to at least play it, I'm not going to spend a ton of money on it. So I wouldn't even bother to collect it, just because it's something I wouldn't be happy owning. It's not anything that's fun. So these two games, I bought these not like really in my head going out there to get these games. I actually found both of these games in game shops. I didn't buy them online. And it's just some of those things where, like, when you see it, like, you feel it deep down in your heart. You're like, I must have this. So both of these games cost about the same when I bought them, and I don't exactly remember how much, but it was over $200 for each of them, which I never spend that much on video games, but in these instances it just seemed like, wow, I walked into this shop, I'm looking around, whatever, some games, oh my god, they have this. So those two games are Magical Chase for the PC Engine and Battlemania Daiginjo for the Mega Drive. I bought both of these games not just because they're rare and valuable. I bought them because I'm a huge shoot 'em up fan, and I already had owned and played the first Battlemania and loved it, and I really, for the longest time, wanted to get a copy of Battlemania Daiginjo because I had heard that it was even better than the first. So I knew that this was a game that I could buy that would be a nice piece for the collection. It would also be a really fun game that I would enjoy playing. And kind of the same thing with Magical Chase. I knew it was rare, I knew it was valuable, but I had watched reviews on it and gameplay of it, and it just looked like a really fun, great shooter. And again, shooters on the PC Engine and Mega Drive are pretty much always quality. I guess it's fair to say that from this generation, the best shooters were on these two consoles, with the Super Nintendo being a third in that regard. Even though there are some really great shooters for the Super Nintendo, generally speaking, it doesn't really hold a candle to what was on the PC Engine and Mega Drive. So that's why I paid that much money for these games. Yes, because I'm a collector. Yes, because I thought they would make nice additions to the collection, but also because I was pretty sure they were going to be some really excellent games, and they are. Magical Chase is a great shooter. I've already done a review on it. I really like this game, and Battlemania Daiginjo is just outstanding. It's one of my favorite 16-bit shooters, period. It's a really great game. So yeah, $250 maybe I paid for each of these. And you know, again, that's Mega Drive and PC Engine or TurboGrafx. I wouldn't recommend to people who just want a good shooter to play to pay hundreds of dollars for these, you know, rare, you know, elusive, expensive shooters. There are much cheaper shooters for the Genesis, the TurboGrafx, PC Engine, what have you. They're much cheaper and they're really good as well. For the PC Engine, I mean, you can go and get a copy of just Super Star Soldier or Blazing Lasers. Those are amazing games. For the Mega Drive or Genesis, you could get a copy of like maybe Ride-n-Trad or Truxton or Darius. I mean, these are all really great shooters, and they won't cost you, you know, now, I mean, these games have gone up in price to like $400, $500, however much. Yeah, if you just want a game to play, don't spend that much money. Buy cheaper shooters that are also really good value for what you're paying for. And if you're a collector who loves this style of game, if you're a shoot 'em up fan as I am, and a collector on top of that, then yeah, if you've got the spare cash, go ahead and buy them, because they're really fun games that you'll enjoy, and then you'll also just be happy to have them on the shelf. It's a nice little collection, you know, addition to the collection, a nice collector's piece. Anyway, Andrade, Jake, thank you for your question. Definitely, people, keep those questions coming because I like answering them. Hey, down in the comments, if you feel like sharing that information with me, what is the most you've ever spent on a video game? I guess it's all justifiable because it's all subjective. We all have, you know, different, you know, levels of income. I myself, not terribly rich, but I sometimes have disposable income, which I usually spend most of it on games. And if you're a collector, you know, how much is too much is totally up to you. Anyway, thank you everybody for watching. Take care and come back next time. Goodbye, everybody.